Hello and welcome to our latest Gemini Rogues video. This is the Campbeltown Premium Tier 2 ship, Campbeltown 5. Now, while it's rotating, would you like to delight us with some history, please?
There's a lot of history when it comes to Campbeltown. Technically, it's American. It started off life as the USS Buchanan, built in Bath in Maine in the US in 1918 and launched on the 2nd of January 2019. It did pretty much nothing in the interwar years. Pretty boring standard life, not much going off, until it was transferred to the Royal Navy in 1940 under the Destroyers for Bases agreement between the two countries. 50 destroyers were transferred over. USS Buchanan were one, and it were renamed the Campbeltown.
Can I quickly ask you how many of them were good?
Not many, because they were obsolete by the Americans at that point. So after alterations by the Royal Navy, she was sent to the western approaches. On the next day, she collided with the SS Resort and needed repairs when she managed to get away back to Liverpool. And then after being repaired, she then ran into the SS Comus as well and needed repairing again.
Pretty good ramming tank.
Yeah, pretty much. Not the best. After that, she was loaned out to the Royal Navy and had proposed name change to Middleburg, but this was blocked under the US agreement in loaning the ship under the Destroyers for Bases agreement, so it never happened. So it remained the Campbeltown. She went on to do many escorting jobs with the Netherlands Navy as well as being transferred back to the Royal Navy, where she protected shipping coming from Western Africa to Britain, escorting it back. It was at this point when she went in for repairs again, and she was selected for a very special mission, which the Campbeltown is incredibly famous for, but not as it should be. The Saint Nazaire raid, which was to destroy the only dry dock big enough in the Atlantic region to service or repair the battleship Torpedos of the German Navy. So they needed to get rid of this. It was too big a threat for the Atlantic convoys. They needed to get rid of the ship, and to do that, they needed to get rid of the dock.
Dry dock.
Yeah, so the plan was to load up masses of explosives in a ship. Pretty basic, really, when you think of it, and then drive it straight into the dock and blow it up.
Wow.
But it was not as easy as it sounded. But what they needed to do first, they had to get the ship, they had to load it full of explosives, but they needed to modify it to make it look like a German torpedo boat. So they got rid of 2 funnels, so it only had 2 out of its 4.
Wow.
They did various other changes, changed the guns just to make it look. And then the other problem with the dock was it was several miles up the estuary. So it weren't just a case of rolling up to the coastline and slamming it in the dock. It had to get there. So it flew the Kriegsmarine, or whatever flag you want to call it, the German flag, up there to be disguised until it got within 1 mile of the docks, and then they opened fire on it.
Oh dear.
They opened fire on it at this point where they took the German flag off and raised the Royal Navy flag.
Shall we just run through some statistics? Campbeltown 5. We'll get back to the history ASAP.
So survivability. It's a destroyer.
Yeah. Tinfoil.
Yeah, it's a destroyer. The artillery on it as well.
It's got 3 guns on it, man, and they're not.
You will say though, you do not like using the guns, do you?
It's secondary.
Yeah, the full bore secondary. They're not the best either, are they? They don't do masses of damage. Fire chance is quite high at 7%. Maximum AP damage is 1,700. They just don't tend to work that well. Where they're positioned on the ship as well is a bit of an issue. But this thing's all about torpedoes. They're what this thing's all about.
What sort of damage do they do then?
The torpedoes, maximum damage 11,906.
That's
very
pretty
precise.
Good for a tier 2 destroyer.
It's really good. Range is 7.5 kilometres as well, and pretty hefty speed on the torpedo, 57 knots.
That's not bad.
So they are quite handy.
Yeah, it's not bad for early.
You're famous for loving your AA defences.
Yeah, there's no aircraft carriers yet, so I'm not.
You do like your AA defences though.
But there's no aircraft carriers, man. That's what you need them for.
Manoeuvrability 86, you can see it's quite up there. Top speed of 36 knots, turning circle radius of 520 metres, and a rudder shift time of 2.7 seconds.
That's
Is it manoeuvrable? 86. Does it feel that way? Does it feel like you can throw it about?
When you're using it.
Yeah. And concealment, again, on the last one we're just going to come to in a second, is 98, which is quite high. Really up there for destroyer.
Because it's a premium ship, it comes with a Permo camo, which is very good.
So it's detectable by range by sea of 5.4 kilometres, detectable range by air of 2.8, and a guaranteed detectable range of 2 kilometres, and a detectable range while firing of 2 kilometres in smoke. That's stealthy.
That's very nice information, Campbeltown. I'll give some more history because this is just.
You're going to history. So we got to the point where they just got to the dock. They'd raised the German flag down and put up the Royal Navy one as a bit of a we're here,
Yeah.
sort of thing. And they smashed it straight into the dock. At that point, this ship got cemented into itself, 24 depth charges worth of explosives.
Wow.
This thing was laden with an 8-hour chart fuse on it to explode in 8 hours. It was also accompanied by over 600 commandos and sailors that took part in this raid.
That's a big raid.
Which, yeah, there's a lot of people taking part. This was not just like a ship sailed up there with a few sailors on it. It was accompanied by smaller boats carrying different people on there.
Quite a big operation, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was 4 minutes late as well, crashing into docks. That's for British standards. It's supposed to crash into docks at 1:30, and it was at 1:34. It actually.
Wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah, it's really accurate. Of the people who took part in it, 169 raiders killed, 64 were commandos, and 105 were sailors.
Oh, that's a shame.
Of them, 611, 215 were captured, and 222 managed to get back on the boats and get back out of there, evacuated. And 5 unlucky ones, or lucky ones, whichever you want to look about it, managed to escape, and had to travel all the way through France and Spain to Gibraltar to get back into British territory, but they managed it. Yeah. The chargers, they sat there. We knew they had the 8-hour fuse. The Germans went on the boat.
Yeah.
They had a look round, didn't find them. It was then an hour and a half late, as per British standards again, they exploded. And then that's when it destroyed the dock. Wow. It blew the dock up. The dock was not being able to use again for the rest of the war. So the mission was a fantastic success in that regard. Yeah. Unfortunately, in the process of exploding, it also killed 250 combined German soldiers and French civilians.
Oh dear.
But that's war.
Yeah.
After the war, obviously the Campbeltown's done by this point. It's literally... It snapped in half and got washed into the dock as it was breached. It was gone. But they managed to get the bell, which is given to Campbelltown in Pennsylvania.
Oh, that's good.
The town, under a bit of a thank you, gratitude thing from the British to the Americans for Lend-Lease agreement they come to with the ship.
Yeah, thanks.
It was then in 1989 they took the bell and they put it on the new HMS Campbelltown, which was a Type 222 frigate, which it carried with it until 2011 when it was decommissioned, and the bell was given back. And I think it's still there now in Pennsylvania.
That's a very good name actually for a ship.
There's quite an old film on this, based on this, The Gift Horse.
What about
and what was the other one?
Attack on the Iron Coast.
Attack on the Iron Coast.
So, very good.
But it's not that a well-known as raid as it should be, in my view.
Yeah, it's quite very large.
Lots of medals rounded out in this battle.
Yeah, a lot of people killed, unfortunately. But like you say, it's war, isn't it?
And a fantastic outcome, if that's the right way of wording it, that they actually destroyed the dock, which stopped the Tirpitz being used to it. And God knows how many lives that saved. Yeah. Stopping that ship from going out and attacking Atlantic convoys.
Definitely. I mean, is that the same dry dock Bismarck tried to get to when it was damaged? Or
it was made for the SS Normandy, the ocean liner. That's what the dock was made for. It wasn't specially built for the Tirpitz, but it was big enough to take it if it required.
Yeah.
But
let's get back to the video Killers 05. I think we're just on camo. This is the Pomo camo that comes with the Campbeltown, and as you can see, it's got quite good benefits of negative. Oh, it's too late. Gone. Sorry.
We'll talk about them another time. Well, straight away.
This gameplay actually does play quite nicely in Tier 2, Tier 3 games.
I think this is what you're looking at with your guns as well. They are a full. I mean, sometimes you say, "Oh, destroy it." It is all about torpedoing, but like the German ones, the V70 and stuff like that, I've got quite a bit of potent in the V25.
Yeah.
The guns are quite potent on them.
They're not just. They're
not to be dismissed quite easily. I mean, this is a Wicks class destroyer.
Yeah, but
from the Americans,
they changed the guns, didn't they? Yeah, but unfortunately they made it worse. They did put more tubes on it because I'm sure it's got more torpedoes than the Wicks class. But anyway, as you can see, I'm just like throwing some out there. The speed of it's quite nice. The manoeuvrability is quite useful when you're close up and personal. You shouldn't really get too close up and personal, what happens.
I like to get close and personal. I like to get right up next to them. It's the best place. You can't dodge torpedoes when they're coming at you from about 5 metres away.
That's very true.
But
true.
You've got to use its stealthness, its manoeuvrability and its concealment, what it's all about. So.
If you don't use its guns and it stays slightly more stealthy, because obviously you lose.
Does that not limit you on some battles to the fact that you can't fight at range? Because you can't get your torpedo and your guns are pretty useless. Does it make it more of you feel the need to get up close and personal with this thing?
You've got no choice.
Because
if you look at the camo circle, which is blue, and the range on the guns, it's more or less damn it the same.
Yeah.
so you're stuck.
Yeah,
You-
so
you're not-
it
you're
kind
not
of forces your hand.
Yeah.
I could see it is a tier 3 game. Does it hold its own, or are you just a bit of a?
Then you got to work routine.
Yeah.
Especially if you got to distract the small ships so you can attack the battleships. But in this sort of game, tier 2, tier 3, when it's all battleships and cruisers, it's just mad. It's fun.
Yeah.
There is strategy, but you kind of lose it because everyone goes nuts. I mean, technically, this is what 3 bases to capture, but I don't think anyone actually bothers.
With the others.
Don't bother.
So we've got his first torpedoes away. Sunk his first ship.
There's some nice range on torpedoes.
It's a good speed as well.
Yeah, they do fly
57
out
knots,
quite
something like
nicely.
that, yeah. Do you stick with your HE or do you go for your AP?
To be honest, I always stick with HE on.
Try and get some fires.
Well, lower tier games you pen mostly everything anyway. If you got a decent gun, not on this thing. This thing, guns are useless.
Yeah, and they're not positioned particularly well as we can see here.
No.
It's a struggle to get.
Yeah, I mean, I think we did what was the German tier 2 one we did?
V25.
V25, where I was chasing one down. I wasn't bothered about it because I knew the guns were at the front and the maximum he could turn was 1. So it don't matter.
Ship knowledge.
Oh yeah, knowledge is good, man. Yeah, I think if when players start playing all the tiers, you know what I would suggest is to do every line, because then you learn all your ships, don't you?
Yeah.
You learn what you're fighting against. Where do you come from? You just pop up. But this game, I don't think it's
a bit of a turn there. He's turning away from your torps. He's only got a little bit of health left.
He's on a nip.
He's got a bit of a blocker though there, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's got a nice shield.
He managed to hit top of both tower and funnel then to the blocker. Quite impressive. Some torps coming back at us. Sneak him in there. You can see the damage the gun's doing. The reload's quite high and it's not dealing. It's a struggle. The fire up jar. Oh! You didn't see that guy coming, did you? Got some torpedoes. He's turning away from him straight away.
He was disguised with that. There's a lot of carcasses in this area, isn't there? Look at that.
Oh, he took a few. Oh, he's dodged them. He's done well there. Did he get one in there, Adam? He's got a bit of a flood going down.
Do you always find that when you fire like stack of torpedoes at someone, they dodge them like sea biscuit?
Pretty impressive.
Like that.
Yeah.
Where are they gone? Oh, they've dodged.
Well, I just seem to. I think if I were in a canoe, I'd still take about 4. I just seem to attract them. It's a good job there's no depth charges on this game or anything like that. I'd just be sailing straight over them. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a torpedo mate. It's like pretty much like that guy who's just absorbed a few there into his side. I mean, you can see the damage is right. Oh yeah, he took them one.
We've not moved from this area.
They just keep coming one at a time.
They're sinking in the same.
We've got stuck. We've run aground a bit there.
Look at its gun damage, not.
Yeah, it's minimalistic.
Oh, it's not done. No, it's not loaded yet. It's pure secondary. It's like guns are just. If they ever feel like doing a buff on this, I'd really love some better guns and more reload, quicker reload, better guns.
You can see its manoeuvrability though when you don't run aground. That is.
Yeah.
I've not really managed to show his concealment ratings in this game.
Up close and personal,
just
man.
by the fact that we've never been more than about 100 metres from.
I've actually just noticed they've taken all 3 bases. So unless our team decides to actually kill everything.
Oh, can we squeeze them past that land? Is it going to go past? It's going to be close. 3 of them going. Oh, we've absorbed 1 into Ireland, but 2 of them going.
It's a shame.
Up to 70,000 damage now.
But you notice how many have left on nipple?
Yeah, so just can't finish it off.
Just can't finish them off with guns. So
is this an handy ship at the end of the game when you've said, like we've said now, somebody caps all 3 bases out to get back? And reset it.
It's very agile, very, very nippy.
Oh, you nearly ninja one there yourself. You got beat to it.
I can't even ninja them with a gun.
Somebody beat you to it.
But it is actually fun to play. You know, on our new scale of 1 to 10, where 5 is neutral, I would give this like a 9 out of 10 because it is very good fun. The only reason it doesn't get 10 out of 10 is because the guns are pants.
Does it make much credits wise?
It's tier 2. It makes a few.
Yeah.
It's not too many, but.
At the end of the day, I said all long before we wargaming games. The premium tanks and ships.
Yeah.
You're buying for one reason, aren't you? For fun.
Yes.
You want something different, or there's many reasons you can have it, or for making credits and stuff like that. this fits into the fun bracket.
Oh,
You
yes.
buy for fun, you
Yeah.
won't just buy for meching credits and stuff like that.
Yeah, definitely.
Is it OP in a way, or is it just fits in with all the rest of the tier 2s? You've said before when you were playing V25 you saw one, you weren't bothered at all by it.
It didn't concern me, no.
Skill ceiling?
I think you'd need a little bit to aim your torpedoes and
So somebody who enjoys the destroyer class.
oh god, they'd
in-
love it.
Yeah.
Love it.
What about a novice? Because remember, this is tier 2.
Oh,
if there's a novice out there who's just started the game and who's thinking about buying a premium ship,
It's a good trainer.
Yeah.
It's a good trainer.
it's to get used to the actual
Yeah.
destroyer classes.
Yeah.
It's racking
Like
like
I said,
100,000 damage.
Ooh, it's finished. Ooh.
Serious damage in there.
So it's like constant torping, which does help because it's a quick reload. But some are higher you go, it's like a minute, 20 seconds to reload. But that's it, Killers 05. Campbeltown, awesome history and a very, very fun ship to play. It's just them guns that are pants. Are you done, Killers 05, with all your history?
I'm done.
You're spent. Okay then, people. Thank you very much for watching and laters.